welcome back. We are here on a Wednesday, midweek
Woo!
show. This kind of feels like we're going against the establishment here, going against the parents. Um, no Jerry on this midweek show. I do have Jerry's thoughts on the Bears, and I do have his picks for the games that we'll be talking about. So I do have that, but he's not with us. Jerry's, of course, at his job
hmm
in St. Louis, living his best life in St. Louis.
Yeah, but he is here with us in spirit.
Of course, he's always with us because he lives the miserable life that I do of being a Bears fan. So you can't escape that. That's just a
The
fact.
spirit of agony.
It's terrible. So I'm here with Trevor, who doesn't know what that feels like when it comes to an NFL team. Um,
I used to.
yeah, but you guys have always kind of had it figured out.
Do
The
you remember
Bears,
when we were like 12? And I remember specifically the day I was with you in line going to recess, and it was like the Michael Vick,
yeah,
the
the
uh,
dream
the,
team.
yeah, the Vince,
Yeah,
what Vince? I almost
Vince
said Vince
Young,
Carter, Vince Young.
Vince
Yes.
Young. Yeah, the dream team. Namdi Asamoah.
Yeah, Namdi Asamoah.
Yeah,
And I was like, Caleb, this is the best team ever assembled.
that
And
was
then
like
we
Andy.
went,
Was that Andy Reid's like last year with the
I
Eagles?
think so. Yeah, we went like 5-11 or something,
Yeah,
and
terrible.
it was
The
awful.
problem is like with the Bears, it's like we're either terrible or we're like really good, and then we just like somehow fumble it away, right?
Yeah.
Like we make it to the Super Bowl in '06 with Rex Grossman as our quarterback. Like that'll never happen again in the history of the NFL. We had a great defense, an all-time defense. Like we win that
Yeah.
Super Bowl, that defense is talked about forever.
Yeah.
Devin Hester literally carried us to so many wins that year.
hmm
Literally Devin Hester in the defense. And then we have to go up against Peyton Manning out of
Yeah.
all teams, like one of the best offenses of all time. We
Yeah.
lose that. Um, then we play in an NFC championship game. Jay Cutler gets hurt. We have to play the Packers
hmm
and we lose that game.
Yep.
And then we have the double doink
The double doink against
against
yours truly.
against the Eagles when that team legitimately that was a really good football team.
Yeah.
Matt Nagy's first year, and
Yep.
I think it was 2017.
yeah.
Um,
Yep.
that team was great.
Yeah.
Like no doubt about it. That team was no, it wasn't. No, it's
That was
2000
the
and
night.
it
Was
wasn't
it
18.
1819?
18-19, yes.
Yep.
18-19. So good. That was after you guys won the Super Bowl.
Yep. This is the year
Um,
after.
yeah. We like that team. That's when we got Khalil Mack. Like same thing with like the Packers. It kind of just it vulturized the entire team and generalized and made everybody excited
Yeah.
and good. And then so we lose that when we shouldn't have lost that game.
hmm
And then we've just been in agony ever since.
Well, and yeah, and I remember. I think it was the first game that Cleo Mack played as a bear. We were at the apartment
Yeah,
watching in the living room,
yeah. Against
and
the Packers.
yeah, and didn't he have like a big fumble
Yeah,
return or
he had
something?
like 3 sacks. He had like a forced fumble, like an interception.
Yeah,
And we didn't win the game. We were killing the Packers.
yeah,
We kicked Aaron Rodgers out of the game, and then he came back and beat us.
yeah. That's classic
That's
Aaron
that's what
Rodgers.
sums up being a Bears fan.
That's true. Yeah, that
I
is
mean,
actually true.
every
Um,
time we think we're
so
going to be good, we lose.
so I think you'll have more to say about this than I will. So I will kind of get us started. Um, I would say my key takeaways is like the quarterbacks, how they were
Yeah,
playing, swapped literally.
yeah,
Um, JJ McCarthy looked terrible. I
yeah,
really do think because Troy Aikman was saying this a lot. Um, he was like, I have never heard Soldier Field this loud.
yeah. No, everybody was excited, but because it's like you get Ben Johnson, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is like the first time we've paid for a coach, and everything is good, and we're balling out. Like it's the time. We have Caleb Williams, this generational talent. He just hasn't been untapped. Everybody's excited. Chicago, we want to win her so bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you also have the thing of like they're gonna be probably moving to Arlington Heights. So these are the last few years of Soldier
Yep.
Field in the city where it's truly like Bears,
Yeah.
Chicago's team. And yeah, now it's just like everybody's excited, and then we get ran over by Mack truck.
Yeah. And so, like, I remember like seeing JJ McCarthy like mouth like, "Hello, Nolan. What is his
Yeah.
name?
Creepy photo, Nolan
Creepy
Marcus.
photo, Nolan Mark. Nolan, look at my trade I sent you in our fantasy team. Anyways,
Yeah, he was telling me about it. It's terrible trades.
well, I did it through a trade analyzer first of all.
You guys
So to call it terrible,
you guys are sitting there lowballing each other.
Yeah, we don't want to give up too much. That's okay though. Anyways, like see JJ McCarthy like snap the effing ball, and
Yeah.
because they had multiple delay of games, right?
Yeah.
And then a few that were really close.
Yeah.
So I would credit that to Soldier Field's environment. I think Soldier Field, Chicago, is one of the best football environments that you could have because they are very passionate. They remind me
Yeah.
a lot of like the Eagles.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you know though it's also the smallest crowd in the NFL?
oh, really? Like
Yeah.
capacity wise?
Least amount of fans. It's crazy to think.
Well, they really just jam them in there then.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also think it's the way the stadium is like
Yeah.
configured.
Well, it's also like what 100 years old.
It's 100 years old and then they put a spaceship on top of it.
um. So I mean, even like Eagles fans, like in the second half when the Bears were really starting to go downhill, there were audible boos
Yeah.
coming from the stands, like
That's the city.
boo.
That's the city.
And I would credit that to a really good football environment and fans that who like let you know exactly what they're thinking. But JJ McCarthy started off terrible. Caleb Williams looked amazing in the first half.
Yeah.
He had some throws, dude, where I was like, I don't know if there are too many guys who can throw a ball, throw a football like that. I remember one play specifically when he hit DJ Moore over on the sideline.
Yeah.
He had a dude in his face, hit his hand on the follow through, perfect ball.
Yeah.
And then second half, dude, JJ McCarthy started to turn it on, and Caleb Williams was like, I thought he looked pretty bad. It was just like a lot of like missed throws. And he set DJ Moore to get absolutely decapitated at one point.
Which that throw in itself was crazy because there was also a guy in his face for that.
Yeah.
Like the fact that he got that ball off and put it where it needed to go was crazy.
Yeah. And so I would say that my major takeaway is like I wouldn't abandon hope as a Bears fan because I do think there was a lot of good. Does that mean Super Bowl this year right now? Maybe not.
No, it's not.
But is this a team who can be really competitive in a really good division? I think so. They do kind of have a tough schedule. I was listening to someone like go through Big Cat from Barstool. He was doing like the win losses thing, and it's a rough schedule.
It's terrible. I don't understand how a team that has been last place for like 3 years has that hard of a schedule. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and so I think the schedule really works against the Bears. But I think the Bears defense looked pretty good. Except, but there's so many playmakers on that Vikings offense.
Yeah. We were also without our top two corners too.
Right. And so I think
and our other middle linebacker.
I think there was a lot of good. So I'll let you get going here. I think there was a lot of good. I would not completely abandon hope as a Bears fan. But it is going to be a tough road. It will be an uphill battle, but that's just the Chicago Bears way, baby.
Yeah, I mean, it's never easy. Chicago doesn't make it easy. The city's tough for a reason. You're supposed to be, we eat nails over there.
That's right.
We're crunching on nails in the morning. All right, so I'll go with what Jerry said. This is from Jerry, as a Bears fan himself. He's a Chicago man, Catholic from Chicago. He knows the Pope. I mean,
I'm gonna be really sad that we don't get to see his reaction. I know he would give such a good one, but
he knows the Pope. He is a Chicago man. He's a Chicago man through and through. Catholic from Chicago. That sums it up.
Yep.
So he said, week one of new quarterback and coach together / new pieces, but still feels like the same old Bears. Losing a close game they could have won. I mean, that sums it up perfectly.
Yeah, I would say though that there were flashes of some of the best Bears football I've seen in a few years.
Yeah, I mean, I think so the game really flipped when the Vikings were able to start running the ball and we couldn't.
Yep.
That's when the game entirely flipped.
Yep.
And so try any quarterback that has to sit there when the defense knows you can't run the ball against them because, I mean, Brian Flores is a great defense coach. The Vikings have a really good defense.
Yeah.
But when you come out and a quarterback has to throw every time and it's going to be thrown, that makes it tough to begin with.
Yeah.
So to put that task on anybody's tough. So that's when the game flipped, is when we were not able to run the ball and they were. Because when we had that pick six, I was like, this is over. I was like, we have rattled this kid.
Yeah.
He is not that he's going to be bad. It's just he's not ready yet.
Yeah.
They are kind of like just playing with some handcuffs on him, and it'll be fine. Um, but then like we just kept stalling on offense, and Ben Johnson's offense is let's run the ball first, and everything kind of plays off of that. And that's when it went downhill. I mean, yeah, look, I'm not totally losing hope because I mean there was a terrible holding call that
Oh,
stalled
that
one
was
of our.
atrocious. Yeah.
It was terrible. We would have scored that. We would have scored a
Yeah.
touchdown. That's a fact.
Yeah.
So we get the holding call, and then we get the what do you call it? The can't even think of the word of it now. Quarterback gets the flag for not getting the ball across the line of scrimmage.
Intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding. We get that, which that is like that was kind of ticky tacky too because the guy kind of the line judge literally pointed and said this guy's in the area
Yeah.
at first, and then they throw the. It's like okay, whatever. Like that one, but that holding call was terrible.
Yeah.
That I mean, he had a nice play to Swift, got us down to the 12. We scored a touchdown there. I no doubt in my mind. We
Yeah.
get kicked back. We missed the field goal. So like that's one of those things. It's little things I will say. Like look, yeah, Caleb Williams is uber talented. There's no doubt about it. He's one of those guys that like he can make the hard plays that are like crazy, but like the easy plays sometimes are tough for him.
I totally agree with that.
But like the one throw everybody's complaining about that he didn't throw to DJ Moore on the sideline or whatever. Like we still scored on that drive, so I'm
Yeah.
not really worried about that. Yeah, he missed that throw, but he also wasn't looking there at first.
Yeah.
Like you can tell he is being told, look at this guy. If he's not there, then you can look away. He was looking in the flat, and then he was like, "Oh, flat's not open. Oh shit, he's wide open."
Yep. And
Now
he
I'm
got
gonna
there
throw.
late. Yep.
But it also, and it's good and bad. And Troy Aikman very irritated me about this. Is he's like he's not pushing the ball down the field more, but it's like he's taking what the defense was giving him, and for the first time in his life, he played that way in the first half.
Well, and I would say too that the Ben Johnson offense has never really been designed to do that as its like number one thing.
Yeah.
Like if you look back at Jared Goff, he had one of the quickest snap to throwing
Yeah.
in the NFL. And that was basically because of how the offense was designed. I think that Ben Johnson's offense is ultimately get the ball out of the hands of the quarterback as fast as possible and put it in a playmaker's hands.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what it is. And we're just not there yet. I mean, like I still believe in Ben Johnson as a head coach. Because what I like about Ben Johnson is like he visibly is like pissed on the sidelines when something like there's accountability there where he's just like, what the hell are we doing? There was way too many penalties as well, which that has been a problem in camp that they talked about. So that's probably maybe could be one of those things where you just gel some things together, figure it out. But yeah, and then he was asked about the booze, and he was like, "Yeah, it's a great city. Like I don't blame them. That shows their passion. Like they care." So it's like we have to do better. Like for the first time, as you have a Bears coach, it's like, yeah, like we sucked. We need to get better, and he's not sugarcoating it.
Yeah,
and he's not going to take the job to be the Bears coach if he didn't think that he could get something out of Caleb Williams.
Right.
I mean, he could have just stayed in Detroit and just been like, oh, no, we'll be good again. And I could live my life and do whatever. So I'm like, the schedule is tough. That's the big thing that kills because winning that game Monday could have taken us from like 6-11 to 7-10, which is crazy to think. But that's how tough the schedule is.
It's a brutal schedule.
I think that's what sucks is like you try to get this new momentum with a new coach and everything coming in and you lose the game after being up. But then it still proves like, hey, you still have a lot of work to do. Yeah. We're nowhere near being very good and we still have to figure a lot out. But no, I mean, there was a lot of glimpses of good things. Defense not having Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon. I thought the Vikings were just going to throw all over us.
Yeah.
And they didn't. We didn't also have TJ Edwards at linebacker as well. So, I mean, we lose 3 of our better defensive players, and we still don't play terrible. So, yeah, I think it'll be figured out. It's just going to be tough because the schedule's tough, the division's tough, and it's just going to be – it's just worse, too, because now the media is just going to keep piling on.
Well, and that's exactly what we said Sunday, right, is that regardless of what happens, it's going to be one extreme or the other. It's either the Ben Johnson era this is overhyped. This isn't going to be what the Bears fans thought it was, or is going to be JJ McCarthy's a bust.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the game, it looked like JJ McCarthy was a bust, and then I could visibly see people reacting as if JJ McCarthy was already a bust by playing just one half of football.
Yeah, that's just how we do things now.
That's how. Yes.
Because now it's like, is JJ McCarthy better than Caleb Williams? And like, would you much rather have? It's like, okay, he played one game. You got to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, wait till he's got to go up against Micah Parsons and the Packers.
Yeah, and we were talking about your schedule too, dude. The division is just rough.
Yeah, I mean, so here is the Bears' schedule. So we have to play the Lions this week, and that's a pissed off Lions team that got embarrassed. Then the Cowboys, Raiders. We have to go to the Commanders. We have the Saints at home. Hopefully that something comes good out of that. And then we have to go to Baltimore.
Yep.
To Cincinnati. Giants at home. To Vikings. Steelers at home. At the Eagles. At the Packers. Browns. Packers at home. At the 49ers. And we end with the Lions.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous because realistically, the Commanders, you think are going to be a playoff team. We think. The Ravens, they're going to be a playoff team.
Yeah.
The Bengals, they didn't look great on Sunday, but I still think they're going to make the playoffs. Yeah. So there's 3 playoff teams. The Vikings or Lions. Somebody else in the division is going to make the playoffs. So there's 4, potentially 5. The Steelers will probably get into the playoffs. They always do.
Yep.
The Eagles are definitely making the playoffs. The Packers are definitely making the playoffs. And the 49ers, they've already ran into injuries, will probably be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, they played like 7 or 8 playoff teams. For a team that was in last place. Like, that is what is, like, if you go look at anybody else's schedule, it's, like, not that bad. It's like, this is ridiculous.
Well, and I could argue, like, the Eagles, we played the Cowboys this week, which is a division rival, so that's a given. But then we play the Chiefs this week, but we're also defending Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, no, and that's how the NFL does it. If you're first, you have a tougher schedule. That's how they also help with parity. But, yeah, the Bears, it's like, what the hell is going on here? Like, we have to play one of the other toughest divisions in football in the AFC North. And then we have to play in our own division. And then you're like, oh, yeah, hey, the guys that won the Super Bowl last year and embarrassed everybody, yeah, you're going to play them. You're going to play the team that was in the NFC Championship game. Yeah, you're going to play them. It's like, what the hell are we doing? They have it out for us. They do not want to see us be great.
Yeah.
And I think the whole plot is to doom the Bears. I said this talking to my dad while watching the game is I think they want the Bears to move to Arlington Heights so then they can get another franchise in Chicago.
Wow.
I think that's going to happen.
Wow, that would be crazy.
I think that's what they want is they don't want the Bears to be great, even though we're historically like a top tier team historically.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's what they want. And I think they're going to try and bring another team into Chicago.
They would never like demolish Soldier Field though, right?
So it's like, the problem is the inside of Soldier Field is, and like some of the pillars is like historical, so you cannot demolish them.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they should.
So the plan was if the Bears were to build in next to the stadium, that is now like a parking lot and like a park.
Yeah.
That they would keep up like the pillars of Soldier Field and make it like a park.
Okay.
And they would get rid of like the stadium part of it, but keep like the old school like pillar part, and it would just be like a big park.
Yeah.
And then they'd build next to it. The problem with the Bears is they have no money. The franchise has no money.
Yeah.
We are one of the poorest franchises because Papa Hollis bought them for $100 100 years ago. It's not like we have a billionaire running this thing. Like all the family's money is tied up in the Bears. Like it is. It's it's just how it is. Like it's all tied up in the money. And then you had Virginia, who just died this past year, R.I.P. Virginia, who's like 100 years old. She has all these kids. Her one kid, George, is an idiot who like runs the Bears now. He's an idiot. It's like I go back to the fact that we probably could have had Jim Harbaugh as our coach 2 years ago.
Yeah.
All you had to do was fire Flus and just ask Jim Harbaugh to take the job. We would have had him.
Yeah.
Like my generation was ruined of our Mike Ditka.
Yeah.
And that's what hurts me, I think, the most.
Well,
Is
and
that we
I
could have
I think too, like so we talk about Harbaugh. The Chargers didn't look particularly good last year.
no.
So I mean, again, that's a little bit more optimism towards the Bears. It's like, yeah, maybe this isn't your season, but look at what Jim Harbaugh did last year with the Chargers. And I know it's only week 2 now, or going to be week 2, but like the Chargers looked good against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean it takes time. Like I said, there are things. It's just as a Bears fan, it's the same old thing. It's like
Yeah,
every time it's like we tried the same thing and it just breaks and
yeah,
breaks. Trubisky, same thing. We draft him um, with John Fox, then we fire John Fox and we bring in, Matt Nagy,
yeah,
right? And then it's like, okay, he doesn't work. So we draft Justin Fields, and then we fire Matt Nagy, and then we bring in Matt Eberflus. Well, that doesn't work. So then we draft instead of trying this whole new thing over again. We draft, Caleb Williams, and then we fire Matt Eberflus. It's just the same old thing every 3 or 4 years.
true. That is
Like
true.
this is a cycle that we're in.
Yeah,
Ever since we got rid of Lovie Smith after he won 10 games, and then the new people are like, "Hey, we don't want to resign Brian Urlacher either." Are you kidding me? Like that, we've been doomed ever since.
Urlacher curse.
It, but it's like we are like the only idiots that are like Lovie Smith is like back in the day is like what Mike Tomlin is now.
Yeah,
He's gonna win you 9, 10 games. You probably make the playoffs. You're not gonna win in the playoffs, but you're gonna make the playoffs. And the
yeah,
Bears were like, that's not good enough for us. And
yeah,
now we're just stuck in this cycle of like we're in a dryer with rocks,
yeah.
and we just keep getting belted and belted.
Well, and I think around where we live too, like to see the Bears like succeed would be like all the Lions when the Lions were
Yeah,
really good. Now
exactly
all
right.
of a sudden there's a million freaking Lions fans
Yeah.
everywhere,
No.
and then I think the Bears thing. I mean, there are like so many closeted Bears fans.
Yeah, and
That's like,
it would be even crazier because
yeah,
Chicago is a bigger city, and like,
yep,
and that's I think the thing. It's like the Cubs are known as the lovable losers. Like the city is known to be like, yeah, okay, like we're gonna stick with our team even though they suck
yeah,
because you're like it's the history and this is what we do, and it's like this is terrible. Like it's the worst. Like I don't know. Like the everything about it is just I don't know. It's terrible.
Well, as an outsider looking in, I would leave um Monday night with a bad taste in my mouth, but there are good things.
Yeah,
And
look,
you guys look already better than you did last year.
I'm not going to, go crazy and be like, we need to get rid of Caleb Williams already. He's terrible. But no, we don't need to do all that because the issue is going to be with some of the. I mean, it's already like we were like praising Bo Nix and Drake May and all these guys from last year, and they
Yeah.
didn't look good in week 1.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? So look, I think if we're able to run the ball, we don't get a terrible holding call. I think Caleb Williams looks way better, and we win the game. I mean,
Yep.
it's that simple.
Yeah.
And in the NFL, they're all close games, and that's just the way that it is.
Yep.
But no, I'm not looking to be like, all right, let's sell it all and get rid of it. But I'd love if the McCaskies would sell. It'd be great, but probably won't happen. All right, let's get to some comments before we get into college football here. Nolan said, we'll try and work something out, Trev. Got to get another week under our belts and see what the deal was.
I can respect that.
He also says Bears don't have a Joe Alt to protect. I mean, that's a fact. We don't have Joe Alt. Why Harbaugh's job's been easy. I mean, Jim Harbaugh's just a great coach. Everywhere he's gone, he wins because he implements a culture. And where did he learn that culture from? The two
Bears.
guys that coach him, Bo Schembechler in Michigan and Mike Ditka.
Yeah.
And the Bears, that's what I think is sickening, is he was just primed to be the Bears coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he always was. We had like 3 chances to do it. And the last chance we had to do it, he would have said, yeah, he's running from the NCAA. He would have taken any. He coaches the Chargers now.
Yeah.
For some, he coached the Chargers for he played for the Chargers for like 3 years. He was drafted by the Bears, played for Mike Ditka. lived in Chicago for a very long time. He's a Midwest guy to begin with. Like he doesn't want to live in LA.
No.
We had all the chance and we don't do it, and we end up with another year of Matt Eberflus garbage. And I don't know.
Well, and I will go back to what Nolan said. I wouldn't call the Chargers job particularly easy
No,
because the coaches before them weren't particularly successful.
no. They
Um,
had talent, just never could put it together.
yeah, I mean, I was for a while there, like that we were wasting Justin Herbert's prime years with his
Yeah.
like mediocrity and the Chargers. And again, it's only they played a game against a team that was in the Super Bowl and they looked leagues better. Um, but I also have a prediction this year that we won't be seeing the Chiefs in the Super Bowl representing the AFC. So I think they're going to take quite a step back. So maybe it's not the most impressive thing in the world, but they did look really good, and Justin Herbert particularly looked super good.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's yeah. So the Chiefs like window of like this first run, like they're still gonna be really good just because, of course, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, they're just not gonna be as good. Um, and I just think it is time for the Bills and or Ravens to take
Yeah,
over eventually. You think? Um, so yeah, I mean, like I said, I think they'll still win the division because until I see somebody else beat them in the division, I'm still gonna ride with them to be the division champs.
yeah,
But yeah, for them to make like another long run, you just get to a point where it's just you're not as good. Other teams catch up to you, and you get older.
right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
And
Travis
what
Kelsey
he's
is hurting his own
36,
players. Yeah,
and
he's
like
hurting his own players. He doesn't play all the plays anymore, like all the snaps.
yeah.
He comes in situations. They gave him that touchdown, and I could have ran that route. Um, you just get Chris Jones is older. He's getting into fights with teammates on this. It's just one of those things. And Patrick, everybody's like, I was listening today, and somebody was like, "Oh, their offensive line looks so much." Better. I'm like, "What game did you watch?" Because he
Right.
was running all over the place in that game too.
Yeah.
Like he had to make some of the craziest throws,
Yeah.
and that gets tiring after a while too. Where you're like, "Oh, I got to be Superman every play." Like, no, he doesn't want to be Superman. He wants to be able to sit back in the pocket and fire.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting.
And I think there's like a kind of a era change with the Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes isn't even 30 yet.
No.
So we have a long time of Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes being good, but will the pieces be there for him to succeed? I don't think they will be this year.
No. Well,
Not saying he won't come back, but Andy Reid also,
yeah, I mean,
he's not going to
he's
coach
old.
forever.
No.
I think Sean Payton is the youngest coach in that division.
Yeah, and he's older.
I think he's almost 60.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's gonna be like the Patriots, right? Where it's like they won those early Super Bowls.
Yep.
There was a lull in the middle where, yeah, they probably got to the Super Bowl. They're just based off of their quarterback, their coaching,
Yeah.
and then it took them, another few years to reload, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's like Patrick Mahomes is early in his career, great. Middle is like it's still great, but you're just not winning Super Bowls, but you're
Yeah.
still good. And then it's going to be at the end again. It's going to be good. I guarantee it.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, I want the Eagles to like forever do good and win every Super Bowl, but it would be really cool to see like Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or Justin Herbert like
Yeah.
be able to be, put in that conversation of really good quarterbacks and not that have that asterisk next to the name, but never won anything.
Yeah. No, I mean that, and then that would just add to the greatness of
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes if that were the case.
Yeah.
All right, getting in now to these are other college games. We have three that we're going to focus on a little bit more.
Well,
Three of the bigger games.
Are we going to talk at all about like Bills Ravens or?
I mean, we can.
I didn't. To be honest, I fell asleep before the
You
second
fell
half.
asleep during the game.
Yeah, I'm an old man. So, I don't. I just. It was like one of the best games ever. Apparently.
No, it was a really good game.
I
It was a
fell
game
asleep.
that I didn't believe could happen.
Yeah.
I mean, when we had our show Sunday, you guys both picked the Bills. I picked the Ravens. I felt really good about myself. My prediction of Kyle Hamilton making plays was, I mean, spot on.
Yep.
First play in the game, it's like, oh, Kyle Hamilton. It's like, I told you, death taxes, Kyle Hamilton. It's facts. And then it's like, yeah, Derrick Henry fumbles late in the game, and then it completely flipped everything. And for a guy that rarely makes mistakes.
Yes. And I love watching those two teams play against each other.
No, there. It's one of those where like that's like a mano y mano. They're both great. They both know each other, and they still cannot stop it.
Dude, and it's and well, like, and when I said last or Sunday, um, it looks like if what I'm saying is true, the Ravens are gonna win in the AFC Championship because that was my prediction. Whoever wins now is gonna lose in the AFC Championship to the other one. So there you go, Ravens fans. There's that. But dude, yeah, I love watching Josh Allen play. I love watching Lamar Jackson play. I love watching Derrick Henry play. Like, and then those defenses, they're always going to have a decent defense, like
Yeah,
both sides. Especially the Ravens being in the AFC North, like you have to have a good defense. I mean, I guess besides the Bengals,
yeah.
but I love watching those two teams play. I caught the highlights, the next morning after I was like so upset with myself that I had fallen asleep and missed that apparently greatest game of all time.
I wouldn't say it wasn't the greatest game. It was a very good game.
What would you say the greatest game of all time is?
I mean, of course, there's some Super Bowls in there that are really good. I mean, Patriot Giants, both those two Super Bowls were
Yeah.
great. Um, I would say when the Rams and Chiefs played that Monday Night Football years
Yep.
ago,
Yep.
I mean, that was like because that was back and forth. Like
Right.
that was legit a great game.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, like I said, it was a very good game, but I think we throw around those the greatest game I ever watched.
Yeah, I agree. That's just I didn't watch it, so I think of the greatest game. I think underrated one is maybe Cardinals Steelers in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a great game.
Yeah, I think when I first asked you that question, that was like the first game that came into my head because that game was insane. That's actually like the first Super Bowl. No, I watched the Bears Colts, but the first Super Bowl where I was like 9 years old and I watched from start to finish. Like
Yeah.
this is amazing.
No, and to have the greatest game is both teams have to have plays. And in
Yes.
that Super Bowl, both teams had plays,
Yeah.
right? Larry Fitzgerald had the long slant for a touchdown. James Harrison, of course, had the fumble all the way returned.
Crazy.
And then you have Big Ben driving him all the way down the field. I mean, so like, yeah. I mean, like I said, this game was more of like, how did the Ravens lose the game? And they lose another game like this than anything else. And I think, so the narrative of like Lamar's not a winner or Harbaugh has problem, like they're going to be fine. It's just one of those games where it's like they should have. It's one of those games where we could look back and say, if the Steelers end up being good and the Ravens and they both sit there with 12 wins, it's like you should have had 13 wins.
Yeah.
So I think that was more of it. Is just like I was like, okay, I think it's over. Like the Ravens kind of controlled it, but then it just shows yet again in the NFL, it's like these teams are close when it comes to talent. And at any moment, it can flip.
Yeah.
And that's exactly, I mean, it was like they were up 15 with like 5 minutes left. And then all of a sudden it's tied or, then they're driving down to kick the field. It was just the whole thing about it's just crazy.
Yeah. And I think too, especially when like college football first started the season, I was into the hype of like college football back, the rivalries make this like the best thing ever. But really, the NFL is just pure football.
Yeah. Because
Like if it was a drug, that is the one you want, baby.
Yeah.
Like that is the purest form of football. Everyone on that field, besides anyone that plays for Miami, is good at football, and the Panthers. But like at any moment, like you said, that's the NFL. Is that you can't like I could see very few like Texas Ohio State. If Ohio State was down like that to Texas, I don't see them coming all the way back and winning that game that way.
No.
But because this is the NFL, it's totally possible.
Yeah. No, it's just I think like 70% of 70 or 80% of the games were one score games.
Yeah.
Which is that's like every week. I mean, but that is if the NFL has anything over all the other leagues, and this is probably why they have such a higher rating than all the other leagues, is their competitive balance is so much better.
Yeah.
Yes. Like they have the system where it's like salary cap and the worst pick, best team now gets the worst pick, but there's always things that are stopping you from being the best.
Yeah.
And they try to balance it out, and you can go from worst to first. You know what I mean? And so
yeah, well, so I mean, look back at last year. Eagles week 2 or something lose to the Falcons.
Yeah,
and in college football, that takes you from like 1 to like 9,
Yeah.
depending on who the opponent is. And then say you have like a rough road after. If you lose another game, dude, good luck. But
Yeah.
I mean, you can get a team now it's a little different with the playoff system, but you can get a team into the NFL playoffs. Like for the Patriot teams, a lot of the time they weren't like no one was like, oh, this is the best team by far, but they just found a way to win in the NFL.
Yeah.
And they could come in there 11-5 or whatever, 12-4, 10-6, and figure it out and win a Super Bowl. And that's why the NFL is just the purest best ever. We're so back. Can you believe we got through summer
It's crazy. It
and
is
we were
crazy.
talking about Joey Chestnut for like 45
Eating
minutes?
dogs.
Yeah, and now here we are, week 2 of the NFL, week 3 college football.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect Jerry segue into our
Yes, it
next
is.
conversation.
Yes, it is. Look at that. You threw up the ball. Let me get to some comments real quick. Creepy Photo says, "Hey, I met Kyle Hamilton. Great guy."
He said, hey, I meet Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, he cannot type. What's
What's
the
the
Lions
Lions
start of the
start
year
to
made it
you?
to layoffs? Yeah, there'll probably be some layoffs in the building if they keep losing. Playoffs, they're like 1-5. I mean, the Lions, it's tough division, and everybody gets better around you, and you kind of have that window, and it happens. But what window doesn't close on Saturdays is college football window. And the window that is opening up this weekend. So we get into a weekend of, I would say, a little bit better games or
Yeah.
on paper games. We have three ranked matchups. Um, we were going to have a fourth, but Florida had to lose to USF.
Yep.
So we'll start out here. Wisconsin at number 19, Alabama. Alabama's a 20.5 point favorite. This game is noon on ABC. And I will preface this by saying this is not gambling advice for any of these picks. We do not know what we're doing.
Nope.
We kind of just come on here and think we are somebody that we are not. We're not in the building. We're outside the building.
That's right.
And I think that's what makes our job a whole lot harder and more impressive to everybody else. Because we're outside the building while everybody else is inside.
Yeah. Yes. So what I will say about are we starting with Bama, Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Okay. So Billy Edwards Jr. is doubtful. Was the Wisconsin starting quarterback is doubtful to play against Bama.
Their starting quarterback was.
Yeah, I was doing research before this. So not a great start. Also, I mean that's kind of telling too. That I mean I had to look up who their starting quarterback was. I saw that he was doubtful, and then you don't even know who it is.
No.
They have no one on the offensive side of the ball that could even touch another Bama or even this Bama. Bama is always kind of Bama. So they'll get an elite 5-star cornerbacks. They'll have them sprinkled throughout the field. There'll be a decent middle linebacker out there. So I'm going to take Bama, and I have the score 40-13.
So you have them covering.
Yes, I think this is going to be a butt whooping.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I think Alabama is kind of tired of hearing about how bad Alabama is and Kalen DeBoer and blah 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 blah. Wisconsin, Luke Fickell, we had him on the hot seat to start the thing. It's just tough. I mean, it is
Yeah.
it's going to be a tough uphill battle. So I also think that Alabama will win. I think they'll cover. I think it'll probably be one of those games where probably Wisconsin comes out strong in the first quarter, and then it just goes downhill from there.
Yep.
All right, another SEC matchup for Ole Miss. While everybody else is still playing out of conference games, this is weird. Ole Miss is already. This is now their second SEC game. Arkansas at number 17. Ole Miss. Ole Miss is 17.5 point favorite. I'll say Jerry picked Bama for that game.
Okay.
And then I'll start this by saying Jerry picked Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, yeah. Okay, so Ole Miss they beat Kentucky, which was I think that was the first in conference. Both teams from the SEC conference playing each other. And then I think I wrote it down somewhere. Doesn't matter. The Arkansas did play two not very good teams. One of them was Alabama A&M. They looked good against those like community colleges. But I actually have Ole Miss winning 24-10.
Wow, so you have them covering again.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Arkansas is one of those teams where Sam Pittman is a nice guy, but maybe not a great football coach. Their quarterback can really run. I think he's had 2 games where he's thrown for like 4 touchdown pass or whatever in both games. But like you said, they haven't really played anybody. You have to go to Ole Miss. Yeah, I think it's probably I'm going to go with probably Arkansas covers it, but I think Ole Miss wins it. But I think it's just one of those games in the SEC. Ole Miss, after coming off a tough win, when you think about Kentucky and how they've kind of played those tough games against them, and I think that they'll do a little bit of like, okay, but I think Arkansas is going to give you hope, but I think they'll ultimately lose. A game that was pictured to be great at one point, Florida at number 3 LSU. Jerry is riding with LSU here. LSU is a 7.5 point favorite. This game is at 7:30 on ABC primetime for the not so primetime Gators.
Yeah, I really think that it's hard when you look at that game, Florida versus FSU. It's hard not to overreact and be like, Florida really stinks this year. Um, you sometimes a team that is not as good as you just has your number, and that could be something that we saw. But I do have this one, 28-14 LSU.
Yeah, so you have a blowout as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think this is one of those games that's close first half, and I think LSU runs away with it.
Yep, that's what I was kind of thinking.
I think LSU is a very talented team. Um, they have a quarterback that can play. Florida is, yeah, they have talent, DJ Lagway and all that, but Billy Napier has so much pressure on him, and he thought that he got over the firing conversation last year by kind of limping them to winning record. And then you come in this year with expectations. You have a tough schedule, but expectations like, okay, we should be somewhat good. And then you lose to USF, and it kind of just ruins everything. So yeah, I think LSU wins this one, and I think it's pretty commanding. I
Yeah.
do. I think LSU is just gonna be too much in Death Valley. I just am like, yeah, Florida is uphill battle. We'll probably be saying Lane Kiffin's gonna be the coach. I
Yep.
mean, that's just
Yep.
where I'm at.
Yep.
All right, last one of these games. Vanderbilt at number 11, South Carolina. South Carolina's 5.5 point favorite. Jerry went with South Carolina here.
Yeah, I think on paper I would like to take South Carolina pretty strongly. I didn't do a whole lot of research on this game, but I do think it's going to be a chippy dirty SEC game. Actually, I'm going to take South Carolina to win 24-21.
Ooh, nice tight game here. Yeah, I mean, I think this is the chance for South Carolina to show that, hey, we're not the same old South Carolina. Because typically they'd lose this game, and
Mhm.
everybody'd be like, why the hell did you lose that game? Um, I think it's going to be close. I think Vanderbilt's they're going to be in the game. I mean, they have a veteran quarterback, very good tight end. I just think Lenore Sellers and South Carolina, they feel a little different this year. They're at home. It's a night game. The SEC needs to figure out the scheduling. 7 p.m., 7:30, 7:45. Like, what the hell is going on here? So yeah, I'm gonna ride with South Carolina as well. I think it's close, but I think they win by at least a touchdown. So I think they cover. But
Okay.
yeah, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be one of those games that it's SEC game, but South Carolina just feels a little different this year compared
Yeah.
to years past. And a game that looks completely different now for the
Woo-hoo!
CW. Who would have ever have thought that when this game was on the schedule that we would be like, oh yeah, USF's gonna come in ranked. Woo, bold, baby. We have number 18 USF at number 5 Miami. This game's 4:30 on the CW. The CW. Try to find that on your local listings. It's going to be pretty hard. Miami is a 17.5 point favorite, and the over/under is 57.5. Jerry picked Miami.
So, I think what USF has done has been electric. It's been fun to watch. It's been awesome. Um, but I think Miami has an elite football team this year, like top level football team this year. I think this is a chance for Carson Beck to really start heating up the Heisman conversation around his name. I think if he goes out here and dismantles a USF team who beat Florida, um, I think that, like I said, he could really start warming his name up to being part of the Heisman conversation. I actually have this in a pretty big blowout. I'm going to go 42-14 Miami.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So USF starts out the season against Boise State. Everybody thinks, okay, Boise State lost to Ashton Genty. You get your coach returns, your quarterback comes back. We think they're going to be good, and then they lose to USF, and then USF walks into the swamp, and in one of the ugliest games you'll ever watch in your life, they end up pulling it out. USF feels very much to me like Northern Illinois did last year,
Yeah.
where you win the big game and Boise State and USF, not really the big game. Like they're closer than. I mean, if they played 10 times, it probably evens out,
Yeah.
right? But you get the big game at Florida. You're like, oh my god, we won this game. Now it's like, oh, can USF make the playoff? Dude, if they win this game, are they top 10? Like, okay, like you start talking
If they
about
win
it.
this game, they're 1,000,000% top 10.
Yeah, without a doubt. But you get into this. Miami's hearing all this. Miami's trying to be, the kings of Florida. Um, Yeah, I mean, look, I think this is one of those games where it's probably closer than we think, and then Miami pulls away. Yet again, it's another one of those games. But I think USF, probably starts out with some fire, maybe a little pizzazz, probably score early, and you're like, oh, okay, we got ourselves a ball game here. And then, yeah, I think Miami, look, they're talent, they're a super good team. Um, I thought they'd make the playoff to start the year. I mean, they're that good. They have Carson Beck, who looks like a new quarterback. He's comfortable. They have a good offense and defensive line that I think will probably manhandle USF over a long period of the game. You give them each a drive, maybe different, but this is a 60-minute ball game. And yeah, Miami's on that precipice, like they're trying to take the next step. And last year we thought they had the next step, and they just didn't fully have it. I think they're probably better than they were last year defensively.
Yeah.
Offensively, that will come, but you're still early in the season. So, yeah, I think Miami wins it. I think they cover at 17 and a half. USF's a great story, and it doesn't put them out of the playoff discussions at all.
No.
Because even losing this game, you're like, okay, but if they lose this game, people will just start knocking them down, and they'll not talk about them again until the end of the year.
Right. Yep.
I mean, that's just how it is. All right, here is the midday matchup here. Number 6, Georgia at number 15, Tennessee. Georgia is a 3.5-point favorite. Over-under is 49.5. Jerry is going with Tennessee in this one.
Yeah, so I will. Well, so I wrote down that Georgia have some 2 offensive linemen that are questionable. So that kind of stinks right off the back. They could be in the game. What I will draw, I guess, the attention to is I don't really trust Gunnar Stockton.
Okay.
He didn't play very good in the couple college football playoff games he played in last year. I don't think he's ready to go into an away stadium and win a really big game. So I'm also going to take Tennessee 17-14.
Yeah, I mean, I'm opposite of you guys. So I think that no one's talking about Georgia, which is for Georgia is great. But this is their chance to make their first statement of the year. Kirby's kind of gone back to, I want to control the line of scrimmage, run the ball, be great on defense. They have a great running back, and Frazier, a young one. Gunnar Stockton is like the Stetson Bennett, where he'll make a couple plays here and there, but he kind of needs to control the game.
Yeah.
I do not trust Josh Heupel in Tennessee. Their whole mantra is like, let's sling it around and throw it 5,000 times. And we have this Aguilar guy. He's way better than Nico, man. Like, this is so great. When they play physical teams, they lose.
Yeah.
And I think if this game's at 7:30 at night, different. This game's at 3:30, which completely changes it. I think Georgia comes in, and it's going to be a close game, without a doubt it will be. But I think Georgia just kind of overpowers them, and they end up winning by like 10 points. I just think the line of scrimmage game, everything about that with a finesse Tennessee team is how I think Georgia's going to win this game. Because nobody's talking about it. No one's talked about Georgia.
Yeah.
They're just kind of there. Everybody's talking about Texas and LSU, and it's like Alabama, and you forget about this Georgia Bulldogs team with a young Kirby Smart out there running around with his visor on. Like, it's just one of those things. So I think Georgia wins it. I think it's going to go against you guys. First time we go against each other.
Yeah.
Fixture, which is good. It's always great for the program.
Yeah.
All right, on to the game that I will be at. I will be at this game.
Nice.
I'll be there in attendance. I have a golf outing next morning. My life's going to be hell for two days. But I'm going to be here. I'm going to be screaming my little heart out. Number 16, Texas A&M at number 8, Notre Dame. I do not understand this line. I do not get this. Notre Dame is a 6.5-point favorite. Over under set at 49.5. Jerry's riding with Notre Dame to win this one.
Yeah, so it is kind of hard. Well, one, I think this is the first time that Texas A&M is going to be really challenged this season. I think I wrote down they played UTSA and Utah State.
Yep.
And defensively, I think they allowed both of those teams to score 20 plus. They did win by like 20. You know, they put up 40 on these guys. But I think this is going to be the real first test that Texas A&M has. Notre Dame comes off of a loss to Miami, but they have a loss in a game played against a top 5 team in the country. I think they are far more prepared to win this game. The Notre Dame has to win in the trenches, which I think that is going to happen. Defensively, they have to get to the quarterback. Offensively, they have to get Jeremiah Love going. I wrote he Jeremiah Love was rushed 10 times for 33 yards. You cannot do that against this Texas A&M team. I think Texas A&M has to do the opposite. They've been pretty good against not so good. I mean, not a Notre Dame caliber team, airing the ball out and having big plays. So I think that's something that they may need to rely on. I don't think they should get into a battle with Notre Dame at who's going to win the line of scrimmage, who's going to run the ball down the other's throat the most. I think they lose that one. If they have a shot, it's going to be to air the ball out, get Notre Dame spread out, and make big plays. I also think that Notre Dame's defense has to get a turnover. They have to get turnovers. They have to stop. Notre Dame's defense is always the most frightening thing about Notre Dame, and I feel like it always has been. Even 2012 or whatever, playing Alabama, that Manti Te'o led defense that was terrifying for teams. So I am going to take Notre Dame, and I'm actually going to have them winning 35-21.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, so this one's tough because we've started out at A&M last year on the road, beat them last second touchdown, got the win. Mike Elko has always played Notre Dame. He used to coach at Notre Dame as a defensive coordinator back in 2017 under Brian Kelly, and then he left to be the defense coordinator at Texas A&M for Jimbo. That's kind of how he got the A&M connection. When we played Duke 2 years ago, Mike Elko was the head coach. That game went down to a late second touchdown from Audric Estime. So Mike Elko he's coached against Notre Dame tough, and they've been close games. This is his first time returning back to Notre Dame since coaching there. Look, this game is going to be really tough because Texas A&M has a different quarterback than what they had to begin the season last year in Marcel Reed. The kid can run, can throw, he's dual threat. That's going to be very tough to stop. Their running back who was injured in this game last year comes back. He's healthy this year. They have a good offensive line, good defensive line. Mike Elko's a defensive guy. He's going to bring some stuff, change some stuff. There's already talk with Notre Dame of like, okay, we got to get CJ Carr to throw the ball down the field more. It's going to look different. I don't know. I think 6.5 is a big number for. I know Texas A&M hasn't played anybody good, but they've played 2 games. Notre Dame's only played 1 game and then had a bye week. I don't understand that. It's the first home game. Marcus Freeman has not been great in the first home games. I think he's lost every single one of them. If I think about it,
I should have done my research better.
Well, I'm just thinking. Marshall, he lost the second year. I don't remember. And last year he lost Northern Illinois. So he's not been good in the home opener to begin the season. They come in with a lot of pressure of like, you got to win, you got to win, you got to win. I'm actually going with A&M to win this game.
Oh my gosh!
Like I had a feeling before the Miami game. I thought they'd win the Miami game, but after they lost that game, I said we'd start 0-2.
Oh wow!
I just there's so much pressure.
Yeah, I like it. I mean,
I hope I'm wrong. I do. Right? I hope I'm wrong. I'll be the most pissed off person ever walking out of the stadium again if they lose. but I think they're going to. 6.5 is a big number. You're at home against a very good coach who has historically played you good. Looking for Marcus Freeman's experience here. They have a dynamic quarterback. We're usually not very well at stopping a dynamic. Any defense is tough at stopping a dynamic quarterback. There's been talks if you have to change the defense. Chris Ash didn't do what Al Golding did. We got to bring some more pressure, beat havoc. I just think that they're going to the game already feels like Texas A&M knows what Notre Dame's going to do every play on defense or on off. You know what I mean? Notre Dame's going to bring more pressure on defense. They're going to try and rattle. They're going to do different things. Okay, so Texas A&M is we're going to have a game plan for this. On offense, it's going to be we got to feed the ball to Jeremiah Love 40 times. I just feel like there's so much pressure that I don't know. I think A&M's going to win the game. I do.
You know what? I'm gonna stick to my guns here for your sanity.
No, I mean, look, I think that I don't know. It's just something that I have when I think about it, knowing how Notre Dame operates.
Being a pessimist.
It's just not that. It's just
I
just know how this. I've seen this happen before.
Yeah,
we're supposed to be so good. It's just a lot of pressure to then now put on Marcus Freeman, to then now put on CJ Carr, and it's not saying that they can't figure it out and they still can't make the playoffs, but when you start with Miami in a game that you played bad, but you probably should have still won the game. Or you could have won the game. Not that we should have, you could have won the game. And now you've sat there for 2 weeks, and all you've been thinking about is we need to be better, we need to be better, we need to do this. And then you got to play Texas A&M, who's a really good team, who was a game away last year from being in the SEC championship game. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty tough.
It is tough.
All right, so Marcus Freeman won his second year. He won the first home opener, but that was against Tennessee State. I mean, I could have won that. But in 2022, he started 0-2, losing at Ohio State, losing to Marshall. 24 was we beat A&M at A&M, and we lose to Northern Illinois. So, yeah, 2 out of his 3 years, he's lost a home opener. And this is by far the biggest home opener. Everybody's talking about this game. It's a big game. I just think the pressure's on, and I think it's going to be one. I think we start 0-2.
Are you guys a playoff team? What's going on here?
I think 10-2 that still end up 10-2.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you play this game and then you play Purdue. I think we beat Purdue.
Yeah.
And then I think they slowly start to figure it out. But I just think you start out with these 2 tough games is just a lot. And it's not just that it's tough games and we don't have talent or whatever. It's just the pressure.
Yeah.
Of you've already lost one. You could lose another one, but you don't want to lose another one early. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean, yeah. So then it's Purdue at home, at Arkansas, a noon game in Arkansas. Thank God it's not a night game. Boise State at home. Boise State's not as good as we thought they were. NC State at home, USC at home, Boston College, Navy at home, Pitt on the road, Syracuse, Stanford. I still think you can go 10-2, but I don't know. I've had this thought ever since after the Miami game. I was like, we're going to start 0-2.
Well, you know what? I will say this, Caleb, you're a man of integrity.
I mean, look, I'm a Notre Dame fan, but I'm not going to sit here and act like everything's
You're for the people.
Yeah. I'm going to say what the people won't.
Exactly.
Is that we're going to start 0-2. And then the fucking panic button is going to go nuts. I can already see this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be fire Marcus Freeman, or he shouldn't be. It's going to be one of those when it's just calm down. This is a tough schedule. It is. It's a tough opening schedule.
Yeah.
I think if we played Miami and A&M at the end of the year, different story. But you're playing them early. And A&M's got 2 games under their belt where you only have 1.
Yeah.
And like I said, Mike Elko's been so close against Notre Dame the past 2 times he's been a head coach. And I know there's nothing more he'd want to do than beat Notre Dame to begin with, but beat Notre Dame at Notre Dame.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just
Well,
what I'm going with.
I'll give you a little bit of an update. So after Jerry's just time of his life at Mizzou last week, I started to do some soul searching,
Okay.
and I was like, man, I really need like a college football team.
So you
And
picked a team.
I did. And you know what? I think I'm going to say it here on this podcast for the whole world to hear. I am now a Notre Dame Fighting Irish football fan.
I don't know how I feel about that, but yeah, great.
You know what? You don't like that?
No, I do. It's just now it's like you're riding high, and I don't want you to get hurt.
Oh yeah. No,
It's a
yeah. Well, I mean, when college football comes on, I just don't care. Like I thought maybe I
no,
was a Michigan fan.
no,
Then
don't
when
ever do
Michigan won the national championship, I was like, okay, like whatever. And then last year, I did feel something
that. No,
when Notre Dame lost to Ohio State in the national championship. I did. I was like, dang it.
because
And
it's like people don't believe it, but we live in it's literally called Michigan is what
yeah,
it's called,
yeah.
and yeah, we have a lot of Michigan fans, but the whole environment of this area lives or dies by what Notre Dame does.
And that's what I was saying. I was like, just think about Notre Dame's influence just in our immediate community.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. And then if you go 30 minutes down the road, it's right there.
Yeah.
Like, and so, was Jerry a Mizzou fan his entire life?
I haven't figured that out. We have to ask him that. I
Yeah.
have not figured that out. I don't know what he liked growing up in Chicago because you have some Chicago people that are Notre Dame fans when they grow
Right.
up. That's just being close, and that's just kind of the way that it is. So I don't know if what he was. He went to Mizzou, and then I think that brought on the Mizzou
Gotcha.
ness. Of course, he's one of those guys that rides with his college.
Yeah. I
Um,
would never do that.
I
I've been too
sometimes
stupid.
do that, but
Are
if
you?
they also,
Would you consider yourself a Lansing Community College Star fan?
yeah, I ride with them. No football team, so I get Notre Dame.
Yeah. And then they got a good softball team, and I think they were pretty good at cross country.
No, so it's one of those things. Like with Notre Dame, it's like Notre Dame and Michigan State. It's like, look, I'm gonna ride with Notre Dame over Michigan
Yeah.
State, except for when it comes to basketball. Like I'll ride with that, but Notre Dame football is my first love in my life. I've said that a million times.
Yes. Yeah.
That is a fact. My life, how I live my life, depends on that. What makes me happy in life is football Saturday in the fall at Notre Dame. That's like
Yeah.
one of my happiest places I can be in my life. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where I'm glad you're a Notre Dame fan and not a Michigan fan. That makes me way happier.
Yep. I don't think. Yeah, I don't really
Um,
feel anything, and I honestly, they're kind of annoying.
they are. They're terrible. They are the most annoying fan base. They feel like they're entitled to something,
Yeah.
even though they're not. Where I feel like as a Notre Dame fan, is like we're more of like, yeah, we're good, but we could also lose.
Yes. Yeah.
And like, I guarantee
And
everybody at the tailgate's gonna have the same thought of like, we could very well lose this.
and I guess this is all just a plot to become Shane Gillis's best friend.
He was just in town.
I know. My girl Kennedy showed me, and I was so jealous, dude. Yeah, I think this is just a plot to be his best friend. He is a Notre Dame fan. I had similar to you. I had no choice in the Eagles thing. Like it was just the first thing that happened. My dad was like, "You're gonna be a diehard Eagles fan. What the ups that brings and the downs that brings."
Yeah. No, mine was either Lions or the Bears, and I thought I picked great at the time. And
Well, yeah, it looked pretty good at the time.
Look at me.
But yeah, and also maybe you formed some of this because growing up, my favorite NASCAR driver was actually Tony Stewart because my best friend Caleb had nothing but Tony Stewart stuff
Tony Stewart was big
all over his house. Yeah,
big time.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's welcome to the good side. You
Yeah.
are now part of the Sidewalk alumni, Subway alumni, which is the largest fan base for a team that didn't go to school there. But what also people don't understand is only like 9,000, 8,000 people go to Notre Dame. So it's not like a big institution where everybody gets in.
Yeah, no, it's very hard to get in Notre Dame from what I believe, right?
Yeah, it's very difficult.
I never even thought of applying to Notre Dame.
No, I didn't. I was a Notre Dame fan. Never. I knew it was never going to happen. Why would I even try?
Yeah.
But no, that's great. We'll have to go to a game.
Yeah. I actually think my birthday's on the 28th. I think I'm going to try to go on the 22nd.
Nice.
I think they play. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know, but I'm going to try to catch that. Do some tailgating. Just have a blast for my birthday.
It's always fun. I mean, we did go to a game together years ago.
Yes, we did. Yeah. Well, that was Notre Dame, Michigan State, right?
Yes. It was.
And your uncle was like, "Let's just leave." Like
Yeah. And then
we
they
were,
almost came back and won the game.
you could hear as we were leaving, like touchdown Notre Dame, and then everyone's going crazy, and I was like, "Is it too late to turn around and go back to our seats?"
Yeah, that's why it's like, I've taken people to games and they're like, Notre Dame will either be blowing them out or they're like, you don't leave. And I'm like, no, I don't leave.
No, you can't.
You don't leave. I paid for the ticket. I'm going to
Yeah.
stay.
And actually, another reason why I came to this conclusion is that I've never been to an NFL game, and the only college anything I've ever been to is either Notre Dame basketball or Notre Dame football. Those are the only things I've never gone to a Michigan State thing. I've never
Destined. It was
gone
destined
to.
for
It
you.
was destined for me.
It's destined.
I remember watching Notre Dame lose to Stanford when Andrew Luck played there.
Yeah.
I remember watching them have a very gritty game against Navy. It was like 30 degrees in October. It was miserable, but I was there, and I was like right on the 50. It was beautiful.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's great. I'm glad that
Yep.
we picked up another fan. You have to get some gear.
Yeah, I will. I will have to get some gear.
No, it's great. I mean, like I said, it's better that I feel I don't want you to feel the pain, but that's part of sports is feeling the pain.
Well, and I also got to be surrounded by Michigan fans when they lost to Oklahoma this past weekend, and it made me feel good.
Yeah, they're all idiots. They're all idiots. They are delusional. They are. They all think that they're entitled to something.
Yeah.
And they all believe that they're going to be great, and it's like that's not how it always works.
No, I mean back in the day, I won't lie, I was a big Denard Robinson guy.
Gross.
Yeah.
Gross. He needed to tie his shoes.
Yeah. But as I've gotten older and wiser, some would say.
Yeah, happens.
Yeah.
No, that's good. I'm glad. I mean, hopefully you're cheering on a Notre Dame victory. Hopefully we all are. But
yes,
I just said I just don't foresee it happening.
That's okay. This new fan will keep Notre Dame going.
I'm glad. Creepy photo Nolan Mark will also be happy to hear that as well.
Oh yes, good.
But all right, we'll be back Sunday. We'll be doing Wednesdays throughout the football season to get Sunday night, Monday night games. Look forward to college games, get our picks out there, and then we'll be back Sunday at 7 to recap college football and to recap NFL.
Yep.
So we'll be back. Jerry will be back Sunday. We'll be here on Wednesdays.
Sunday, Jerry
will be with us. Wednesdays is just us as he's living his best life in St. Louis.
Yes, he is.
What you can do in St. Louis, nobody knows.
Do you think he's like the Batman of St. Louis?
Could be. Isn't there one like somewhere in like a city? Isn't that like a thing?
So.
I think that's like there's like these guys that like they go around and do stuff, and then this other guy came out and is like a mass vigilante in this town. I forget the name of the town, but
should we do that for the village of Cassopolis?
No, I'm good. I don't have time.
It's like littering and just like, you son of a gun.
I've helped the city enough. I mean, what else can I do?
That's true. What more can a man give?
Yeah, I can't. I can't give more without getting any back. You know what I mean? It's
just, that kind of goes against the whole point of a vigilante. So yeah, maybe you're not cut out.
No, I'm not the right guy for that. No, not the right guy.
No.
But all right, that'll do it. As always, thanks for watching.
Yeah.